got here at the end of the round 9, and to finish it up I will go ahead and slip stitch on the third chain of those 3 that we made to start the round. So go ahead and slip stitch right here to finish up the round 9. To start the round 10, chain 1, and this chain 1 will not count as a single crochet. So now the pattern will ask you to work on the back loop only and place 9 stitches, 9 single crochets on the next 9 stitches, and don't forget to place 1 single crochet on the top of the 3 chain as well, otherwise your counting will not be correct. So go ahead and insert the hook on the first stitch and make a single crochet, and on the next 8 stitches you will do the same thing, but just working on the back loop only. So you have the front loop and the back loop. Go ahead and insert the hook right here in the middle of those 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull up a loop and pull through 2. The same thing on the next one. Do not insert the hook like this, grabbing both loops. Instead, go ahead and insert the hook inside between both loops and grab the yarn from the back loop only. So repeat that until you have 9 single crochets. So at this point, if you count, you should have 9 single crochets. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And you should be right here. So your next stitch should be the chain 1, the chain 1 space that we made on the previous row between those 4 double crochets. Actually 3 double crochets, and the pattern will ask you to inside this chain 1 to put 1 single crochet, chain 1, another single crochet. So on this chain right here, working on the back loop only, go ahead and insert 1 single crochet, chain 1, another single crochet. So inside of the same loop for the chain 1 space, but not inside the space itself, but grabbing just the back loop of that chain 1. So now that you did 1 single crochet, chain 1, another single crochet on the back loop only of that stitch of that chain, we will go ahead and single crochet 12 on the back loop only. So on the next stitch, insert the hook between both loops, grab only the back loop and make 1 single crochet, and keep doing the same thing until you have 12 single crochets. So when you get here, you should be again 1 stitch before that chain 1 between the double crochets from the previous row, and again we will repeat the same thing, grabbing only the back loop of that chain 1. We will go ahead and insert right here 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. So go ahead and do that, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. So after that, the pattern will be a repeat. You will repeat that 11 times, doing 12 double crochets. And every time you repeat 12, not double crochets, I'm sorry. Every time you repeat 12 single crochets, you should end up on the stitch right before your chain one space from the previous row. So let's go again. So only working on the back loop only. Let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I made another 12 single crochets on the back loop only, and I should finish my my 12 single crochets right here on the stitch right before that chain one space from the previous row. So inside that chain one space, grabbing the back loop only, we will do the same thing that we did right here. Go ahead and insert 1 single crochet, chain 1, and on the same chain another single crochet. So, and this is pretty much what we will do on this round 10. So you just go ahead and repeat all around until you get right here on the last single crochet space, where you will do single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and you should have 3 stitches left where you will put 3 single crochets on the back loop only. So I will keep repeating that all over until you get to the very last chain 1 space. So I got here at the very last chain 1 space, and again I will repeat the same thing on the back loop only. Go ahead and single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and you should have 3 stitches left, and on each of them work 1 single crochet on the back loop only. And now go ahead and slip stitch on the very first single crochet that we did to start the row. So now we can go ahead and start the round 11. So to start the round 11, go ahead and chain 1, and this chain 1 will not count as a single crochet. And now on the next 11 stitches, we will work 1 single crochet working on the back loop only. So don't forget to make 1 single crochet on this very first stitch right here, otherwise your counting will be wrong. So go ahead and work on the back loop only on this very first single crochet right here. And now I will work another 10. After you finish working your 11 single crochets, working on the back loop only, so the pattern will ask you to chain 1 and make a puff stitch. So go ahead and just pull this first loop around 1/2 inch and yarn over, insert the hook inside the chain and pull up a loop, yarn over again, insert the hook inside the chain and pull up a loop, yarn over a 3rd time, insert the hook inside that chain and pull up another loop. So once you have 2, 4, 6, 7 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the 7 loops, chain 1, and go back inside that very first chain 1 and slip stitch. So this is what you will have. Now the pattern, after you finish that puffy stitch, the pattern will ask you to make a single crochet for each of the 14 stitches, the following 14 stitches. So go ahead and keep working on the back loop only and work 14 single crochets. So after work 14 single crochets on the back loop only, the pattern will ask you to make a decrease on the next 2 stitches. So still working on the back loop only, we will make a decrease on those 2 stitches right here. And to make that decrease, go ahead and insert the hook inside the first stitch and pull up a loop. So instead of yarn over and pull through 2, go ahead and insert the hook on the next stitch, back loop only, and pull up another loop. And now go ahead and yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on the hook. Now it's time to just repeat the pattern. It will ask you to single crochet 14. So after you have your 14 single crochets, go ahead and chain 1 and make a puff stitch. So the same thing that we did on the last one. When you have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the 7, chain 1, go back to that chain 1, very first chain 1, and a slip stitch. And just keep doing that. So now we will do another 14 single crochet. So the repeat pattern will be 14 single crochets and then a puff stitch, 14 single crochets, and decrease on the next 2 stitch. So the same thing here, I did 14 single crochets, 1 puff stitch, and now I will do another 14 single crochets, and when I get to the top of this right here, I should make a decrease on the 2 next stitches. When you get here at the end of the round, I have my puff stitch right here. After the puff stitch, I made 14 single crochets, working on the back loop only as the pattern asks for. So at the very end right here, so I made my 14 single crochets, and it asks for a decrease on the next 2 stitches. So let's go ahead and make a decrease on the next 2 stitches, and after that decrease you should have 3 stitches left to work 3 single crochets on the back loop only. So go ahead and work 1, 2, and 3, because what happens is when you work those 3 single crochets plus the 11 that we made to start the round, you will have the 14 single crochets that goes between the puff stitch and the decrease, and from the decrease to the puff stitch, and it will not be different on the last set. So we made 11 to start, and we should have 3 to finish the round. When you get at this point, you can cut the yarn and finish up your project. So this is what you should have on the last 2 rounds of this. Leave the link below if you are interested in try this placemat, and if you do, please tag me on the Instagram. It's Craft Co's designs, and I will be very happy to see your work. And yeah, happy crochet time. I'll see you guys on the next video.